How you doing, Vapors? It's Vapor back, Grandpa Vapor back to talk to you about today. I'm going to talk about 2 months of use of the Wotofo Profile Unity. Okay, I have found several issues about the device that include a lot of things. Now, I'm going to show you two of them right now. One is in the 3 mil mode, and the other one is in the 5 mil mode. Okay, these are gold ones. Profile logos are on them. They're very pretty devices, very well machined, very well designed devices. I like them, but let me tell you what issues I've had with them. We're going to start out with what you're looking at right now. The 3 mil and the 5 mil. I believe, in my opinion, that the 3 mil produces better flavor than the 5 mil. I don't know if it's the amount of travel that you have to bring the vape up through it, or what that is, how that occurs. It's the same mesh coil. I have OFRF next mesh in mind, not the Wotofo mesh. And I've also seen a guy sent me a link in a comment to a mesh that's supposed to even be better than next mesh, sold in Canada. And I'm looking into that now to see if I can come back and show you some mesh that's better than OFRF. That's what he claims. I don't know that until I get a hold of it and use it. Okay. Also, both of these devices in the 5 mil and 3 mil tank size, they need a period of breaking in the next mesh. Okay, and I say that because you have to vape on it for about 3 days before that mesh gets broken in, and then you start getting better flavor. But I believe this 3 mil one is slightly better than this 5 mil, although both of them are very good. Okay, now here's the second. I'll take a hit off the 5 mil. Oh, I have my airflows closed. I really like the way they design the airflows on these. It's very smooth when you pull the ring around on them. Both of them, by the way, and that was the 5 mil. Both of them, by the way, draw and produce the same amount of vapor in both modes as they do in either one of them. Exactly the same. I just believe that the 3 mil here I'm holding now, which I'm going to take a vape off of, produces better flavor. Now, if you notice this RTA, both of them are on a mod device. Okay, they're not a squonker, which makes it convenient for people that don't want to squonk. Now, what I have on my squonkers, and I have the Revenant TVL, which I believe is the best squonker out there. Bar none, it's better than a topside, people. It looks better, the chipset's better, it fires faster. You don't have a squonk bottle. You just push, you've squonked. And any chubby stick on these, people, any chubby sticks you guys are using all the way up to a 60 mil bottle or a 30 mil chubby stick, you see that hole in the bottom there? That's a very, very tough spring-loaded stainless steel fill. And you stick your chubby stick in there, you fill this thing up in 3 seconds. So why would you want to be unscrewing something on the top of a topside, taking all that time, can spill it, find the little hole to fill it up, and all that, when this TVL Revenant costs less money by about $10, is a solid steel device with stainless steel and a profile on top of it. Okay, people may not want to squonk, so this this device. I promote it all the time, but it seems like the reviewers out there just don't want to do it because they're getting paid so much money by Wotofo to do their topside single and dual. Now, I'm going to get the haters now. It's a good device, the topside. This is just better, people. I'm telling you. Okay, now I'll take a hit off this, and I'll show you with a profile on it how smooth it works. It also has a 21700 battery in it, okay, from Galisi. And this thing is great. It fits in your hand better. It isn't ugly and three little, like the top side looks like they put little two circular silos together, and it's ugly to me. This is a pretty device. Okay, it's nice, you know. Okay, so anyway, that's the profile in there. But people want to put these on tanks, their prior devices, and what happened is in my working with this is now I have about 27 tanks sitting over in there in a box that I don't use anymore, and the reason being is this: the flavor is so much better with these RTAs, and you don't have to do anything but unscrew the cap and fill it up. It's a pain in the butt with this 3 mil because what they don't tell you out there, and nobody I've heard it on no other channels, very rarely did I hear it, is these are absolute juice hogs, people. I mean, they suck the juice down. Okay, so to me that's a con. I mean, I don't know any way around it that you're going to avoid it with these mesh strips in here. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so I've had these for 2 months now. Okay, so I know almost everything there is to know about them. I know how to wick them perfectly. What I have done, what I've gone to, people, and you've seen several ways to do this out there, is that I build this thing, it depends on whatever cotton you have, is that you build a straight up and down wall that fits exactly inside this bottom portion where the air holes are. So when your wicking is standing up, it's going straight up and down. Now, they say the Wotofo cotton is too thick, okay? And I'm tending to agree with them that the Wotofo cotton that comes in these, it comes like this in the 6 millimeter. Let me get my fingers out of the way so if you look at this on the internet, you'll be able to see it. This is what they recommend Wotofo to put in them. Now look at the size of those things, people. And they're thicker than you would ever believe in there. And I found that when you remove these out of the mesh, and what was underneath the mesh never, ever gets wet. Okay, so I don't recommend using these 6 millimeter Wotofos, unless you cut a quarter of the cotton off them and really shred them out. I mean, you take scissors and cut down the side and take a quarter of it off. Okay? So what I did was I went to Wotofo 3 millimeters. Okay? And they're really thick too. Okay? But they're not as thick as those 6 millimeters if you just use one and wick it properly like a wall. Now, Suck My Mod has a great way to show you how to build that wall. Okay, but then I even went past that, people. And here's what I did. And what Rip Trippers has done is he got cotton, Firebolt cotton or something. Well, I went and bought cotton. And what I do is if I can get 2 of these out of there, is I take 2 of these, 2 of them, and I run them in there parallel through the mesh. And I found that this was the best way to wick this device and your profile. Okay, but they're the same base that are in there, so that may help you out a little bit. And these cotton things, I think, were $3.90 on 8vape.com. I don't work for 8vape.com, but I do promote them They're out in Las Vegas. They have good customer service, good shipping, and the lowest prices I've found on the net for every device. You may find a dollar difference here and there, but usually they're 10% less than anybody on the internet, especially for e-juice. All right, it's www.8vape.com, people. Now, let me tell you about another thing that I've had wrong with this after I take a... I thoroughly enjoy it, okay? Don't get me wrong. I just wasted 27 tanks because I'm not going to use a sub-ohm tank anymore, although I do use one still, and that's the Smock. And I'm sure that the other people out there are going to be using the Freemax Fire Loop mesh. And this is a mesh too from Smock, the A2, with triple mesh coils in it. Okay, and I still do use one sub-ohm tank, okay, on this. And the flavor is still very, very good on this. And in this I have Crack Pod from FF, I forget what the name of their company is, FFJ I think it is, Crack Pie, which is really good in this sub-ohm tank for some reason. And it's not as good in a profile or a profile RTA Unity. Okay, so another problem I ran into with these things is this, and I think Wotofo is going to have to fix this. I don't know what their problem is, what it is, but when you receive this tank, it is a bitch to get this piece of glass off of there. It's like it's super glued on there for some reason. You're supposed to unscrew it off of it after you take the base off. And from here to there, and you take the cap off, you're supposed to be able to unscrew it out of there. You take the top off, you take the bottom off, that has the mesh, your bottom, a mesh assembly down there, and then you're supposed to unscrew it off. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, so I had to break I had to break this 3mm glass to make this into a 5. And I'm sure other people out there have noticed it. And I have a video in the past that shows, showing you real time, not a slicked up version, Hollywood version, these corporate horror reviewers that have everything perfect on their video. I did an entire video on getting one from the box, brand new, taking it apart, putting it together, wicking it, and then using it. Okay? So they have a problem with this glass, so be careful. I don't know how you can do it. You can't put you can't put a channel lock on it, a rubberized channel lock, but it seems that they got theirs apart. But I'm pretty sure that before they did the video, they got it apart by getting it apart some way without you seeing what they did to them. Okay? Because I couldn't do it. I mean, they're glued on there. Okay? And you're probably most likely wanting to go to 5mm because you have to fill this thing up 3, 4, 5 times a day, maybe even 8 times a day, just to vape on it. Because after about 15 or 20 draws on here, this thing goes all the way down to the bottom, people. And that's how quick it sucks the juice up. But I just wanted to come back and tell you that I'm thoroughly satisfied with them. And I had friends of mine that loved the profile. Okay, and here's my profile. I have 4 profiles, okay, in squonk boxes, all right? And here's another one here. This is the black gunmetal profile, okay? And I had friends of them ask me, personally, hey man, you told me about the profile months and months ago, right? And I know you're getting that Unity RTA profile base, and these were people that have been vaping for years and years, and they swapped out of everything they had and don't use it anymore because of the profile, and they're squonkers, and they love the profile, and they said it's the best device ever made for vaping, right? So. Lemon Berserker cheesecake in that, people. And I added in my lemon Berserker cheesecake from Okami, okay, I added some lemon twist to it, like a quarter into the squonk bottle, and it makes it So much better. And he asked me, well, how did it go, Vape Vapor? How did the profile go? I know you've got them. I know you've used them now. I know you've wicked them up and that. And I honestly told them that if you have a profile, it's better flavor by about 10%. It's a quieter vape, but you have to squonk with it. And the way they make squonk devices now with the top side and the TVL, it makes it pretty easy to do, right? Because all you do with this TVL is hold the button, you're squonked. Okay? But with a profile, you get 10% better taste, and it's a quieter, smoother airflow. The Unity profile is a very, very direct to lung hit, and it's restricted because of this massive drip tip and how thick it is, and the way it's designed up through it. Okay, I think that's one of the best drip tips ever made for a device, by the way, because I'm a lung hitter. Okay, but so my friends are asking me, is it worth buying it? And they're about almost $40 for these Unity Profile RTAs. And I said, it's worth it to me to have them. And I don't use a sub-ohm tank, but these people don't use a sub-ohm tank on a mod, with factory coils. Okay, they only squonk. And I said I wouldn't buy it. I wouldn't buy it. I'd just stay with the profile. It's a lot easier to manage it. It's a lot easier to re-wick it. And if you don't want to go to that, then don't go to it. Now, I also had a friend of mine that got one, a Unity profile, and he had really big problems, didn't know how to wick it. And you see it all over the net about it, and all the reviewers, that the people aren't wicking them correctly. Okay, and they're also turning them on their sides, unwicked correctly, and it's leaking out the air holes. Okay, because they don't have it wicked correctly. Now, Wotofo recommends that you close this off, so there's no air holes open. If you're gonna lay this thing down on its side in your car or something like that, or in a bag, close those air holes off. Also close them off if you're going to take this cap off. Okay? And it's supposedly, and I don't know where that comes from, is that it keeps the vacuum inside the RTA. Otherwise, you get some leakage that way. Okay? But to me, I've never had mine leak. I have had it leak because I sat it down on an angle, okay, like this, and left the air holes open, and after about 5 hours of coming back to it, there was a little tiny bit of droplets coming out of one or two of the holes. Okay, so I close it off if I'm going to lay it down. There's no reason for me to lay it down very often anyway. But if you do that, just remember that's what's going to occur. Okay, so I like this thing in the 5 mil mode, even though I get 10% less flavor, maybe 5% less flavor than the 3 mil mode. But the 3 mil mode becomes a pain in the butt because you got to fill it up with juice all the time. This here lasts me. I might fill this up maybe twice a day or 3 times a day to vape on it, even though it's going to suck down juice twice as fast as any sub-ohm tank out there. This smock tank here, I can vape on this smock tank, fill it up twice a day. I'll have to fill this up 3 to 4 times a day. Okay, but this one won't suck the juice down as much. Okay. All right. So what were the other problems I had with it was the fact that the price is too high. I think the price for this thing should come down to $30. Okay. I know it's a hot item now. They're going to charge what they can for it, but it's too high and people can't afford it. So they need to come down to 30 and they'll sell a whole hell of a lot more of them. Okay, but like I said, I'm not going to use a sub-ohm tank but my one, and that's the A2 And I'm sure the Fire Luke Match and the Free Max and all that, they're still going to use theirs too. But they're not as good flavor. They're not as good flavor as one of these. This RTA tank is a better flavor than any tank out there. Okay, so if you have a profile now, okay, if you have a profile now, and you're happy with it, and you don't worry about taking the bottle out all the time and doing all that, and you don't want a direct fill, then you're good to go, people. This is the best flavor device ever invented for the vaping market. Hands down, there is nothing better. So I just wanted to get back to you and tell you these things after 2 months of using them daily, day after day after day, what these two devices, this device compared to the profile and compared to sub-ohm tanks and all that, what it did for me. If you're happy with your profile already, and you're happy with your Free Max or your Fire Luke mesh and all that, you're happy with all that, then I wouldn't get one. Okay, but if you want better flavor, then those provide of any factory's own, then I would buy an RTN and I'd swap it out to a 5 mil, and you won't have to fill it up all the time, and go ahead and proceed on. But if you're happy with what you got, I wouldn't buy one. So I know Wotofo and all those people out there that designed this, they did a hell of a job. Are not going to like what I'm saying about it, but hey, I'm going to stay with it. I'm not going to buy any more of them. Okay, but it's a pretty damn good device. So after 2 months, I'm just letting my viewers know. So do me a favor, put a like down there for me, people, and subscribe to my channel. It doesn't hurt you to subscribe to the channel. Okay, I need people to like my channel that are over the age of 35, because I'm trying to hit the people, the older generation of people that vape and want to get off cigarettes and all that, like I did, in order to stop people from smoking. And this is the way to do it, people. This is the way to do it today. Don't get cancer from smoking cigarettes when you can do this, and most likely you won't have any kind of side effects whatsoever. There may be some down the line we learn about, but as for now, I haven't seen any evidence anywhere of any kind of side effects from vaping. In any articles from the Daily Vapor to the UK study to the New Zealand study, now people are going to put in the comments that I don't know anything about them. I read all those studies. Okay, the UK even promotes vaping as an alternative to smoking with their single payer medical system, health system. Okay, so my recommendation is, if you don't need one of these and you have a profile, don't buy one. If you want one, it works and it's better flavor. So subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Vapors out of here, dudes. Out of here. Have a good day.